Alright, just like many, I am extremely disappointed with Cyberpunk at the moment. Like, it's definitely not what everyone thought it was going to be. The game on PC, like, looks fantastic. It looks like a completely different game to the console version. Right now, I'm playing the game on the PS5, but, you know, it's still the PS4 version running through backwards compatibility. And yeah, the game itself, like, at some points it looks pretty, and then sometimes it just doesn't. Like, I don't know. This is with the game's latest patch 2, 1.04, and I don't know. It just feels like the game itself is washed out. Like there's a good game under here, but I don't know. It's like it's being held back. Look at that. See, like them things just kind of like pop in all of a sudden. Let's not go here because this seems like it's a problem. I haven't been in this part yet, so I've been spending a lot of time just actually driving around in the game. Because I think some more stuff in the game has opened up for me to go to. But I'm at the point where I think I'm gonna actually stop playing the game and I'm just gonna wait for the next gen update to come out because I feel like I'm really ruining my experience with the game. Like this was a game that I was really looking forward to playing ever since like I saw the very first trailer, you know, keeping up to date with it, the news and stuff like that. And yeah, extremely disappointed with how this game is and how it looks. Like it looks like an old PS4 game from 2015. Like that's what it looks like. And I've been talking with some buddies of mine about the game and seeing their thoughts as well. And you know they're not happy with it either. There's a lot of people, especially on Twitter, you know, they're not happy with the game. But it's kind of like so. Let's just hear my theory here, right? So who's this guy? So with the game, obviously it's been in development for a very long time. So I said this to my buddies that, you know, there must have been a point where, you know, I don't know if I'm going to be able to go this way. Let me just have a quick look here. There has to be a point where they built the game to a certain degree. So made the game like a certain build, and then wouldn't they have to stop at a certain point and just progress from that build? So I say this because it feels like an older game. It doesn't feel like a game that's just come out a few days ago. It feels like a game that's been out for many years, and we're playing it now. That's what it feels like. It doesn't feel like something that's brand new. There is a lot of the one thing I don't understand is that there is a lot of PS4 games out there that you can play on the PS5 and they look fantastic still. Games like Ghost of Tsushima, you have The Last of Us Part 2, things like that, like they look still really good on the PS5 and they were PS4 games. The PS5 console wasn't even out then and they look fantastic on PS5. Now I'm not saying that this game is like ugly, but it could be better. I don't know if I've said this yet already, because I feel like I just have a lot of thoughts and opinions about this game. It just feels like the game's got like a dirty lens on. That's what it feels like. You kind of like you know when you play Fallout 4, and it just feels like everything is like a bit kind of like washed out. That's what this game feels like. I feel like it could be better. And one thing that I said to my friends was that the game. So what's interesting is the game has like a few like graphical settings. So you have like your video and graphics and stuff like that. But the one thing that's really weird is that HDR settings is actually turned off by default. So you actually need to turn HDR on yourself. And the weird thing about this is that HDR is usually a feature on games, so it's usually just built into the game. It's usually just on, you don't have to switch it on yourself manually, it's usually just part of the game. If your display can play the game in HDR, HDR will be turned on automatically, it'll be displayed. If it doesn't, then, you know, HDR won't be on and you won't be able to select to be on. But this game, it lets you put HDR on and manually configure yourself. So I said to my friends, what if HDR in this game was added in like later? So they built the game with whatever build they made, and then I don't know, maybe at some point around the line, HDR became more of a thing, like with TV displays and stuff like that. And they're like, hey, we need to add HDR into here. And okay, let's just answer this.
Calling all NCPD subcons. Suspected organized crime activity reported on Skyline South. Group of the Valentinos led by Zoe Alonzo at large. Her record includes armed robbery, extortion, kidnapping, and first-degree murder. Night City authorities offering a reward for neutralizing Alonzo's criminal network.
Yeah. Can I pick up my bike? Oh, yeah. Yeah, like I'm just not impressed with the game. Story-wise though, the game is really has a really strong narrative, but yeah, I don't know. It's just like the visuals and stuff take away from the overall experience that I'm having on the game, and the crashes as well. You kind of like forget about it while you're playing the game. It just kind of like goes over your head because you're just so immersed into the story. And then like you'll experience a glitch or the game will crash and you're just like, oh man, like it really just, it makes you not want to play the game. And I'm at that point where, so right now, like I'm recording this video, the game's crashed 8 times today. 8 times. And that's not just like since launch, that's just today. The game's crashed more than that from launch. I'm probably like 15, maybe like 20 crashes maybe. And I'm playing on the PS5. So I feel extremely bad for people playing on the older consoles because, you know, this is a game that so many people have been looking forward to. The game has been in development for like crazy amount of years, and because of that, it's just not impressive enough. You know? If you've been working on a project for this long, like, I was expecting to be mind blown. I'm not mind blown. I'm gonna have to wait for the next gen update, and I think a lot of people should if you're playing this game. Especially if you're playing this game on the PS5, you're better off waiting till the next gen update because I think you're just spoiling it for yourself. I feel like that as well. Like, I think I'm like maybe 10 hours into the game, and I feel like I'm really spoiling the experience. So lucky that the game has multiple life paths you can choose. So when I do come back to this game on next gen, like with the next gen update, I'll be able to choose a different life path and pretty much start all over again. Because yeah, I am not impressed. Even the images and stuff, they just seem, I don't know, they just look really like soft. They don't seem sharp and defined. I don't know. It's just like it's got a weird, like, old texture on it. I don't know. Maybe because I've played so many, like, PS5 games since I've had my console. Like Demon's Souls and Spider-Man. Like, I was expecting, like, to be blown away like that. But, yeah, I don't know. I would love to know your thoughts and opinions on the game if you do have it. And if you are playing on PS5, I'd like to know what you think as well. But, yeah, other than that, I'm not really impressed with the game. And at this point, I think I'm going to stop playing it until the next gen update comes out because, yeah, as I said, I feel like I'm just ruining my experience. How funny, this is where we got our bike from. But yeah, other than that, yeah, I don't really have much else to say. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you all in the next one.